Hello everyone, today we shall look into the systematic structure of language and thought, made easy just for you. Okay, first we shall look into the systematic structure of language. To know that, first you should know the evidence for a system. We know that language is a system for the expression of meaning and for carrying out its symbolic and interactive functions. So, it is clear that language consists of symbolic assemblies to deliver whatever idea you have. Okay, so what is a symbolic assembly? Symbolic assembly is just a linguistic unit. It may be a whole word or maybe a part of a word, or it may also consist of a phrase. Okay, to know about this deeper, just go to the previous video which is available in the playlist and you will know about the symbolic assemblies better. Okay. And now what I would like to make you is to understand the idiomatic meaning and also the literal meaning. This is to make you clear that a language consists of a system and it follows several structures. Okay, for example, now take the first example, he kicked the bucket. This utterance consists of a sentence that has an idiomatic meaning in English. That is, its meaning is not predictable from the integrated meanings of the individual words. Okay, so if a non-native speaker of English who hasn't learned anything special, or he hasn't no knowledge about the idiomatic meaning, then he will be able to interpret only it literally. Okay, but what native speakers do, they will they will understand this in an idiomatic way. What does it mean? So he kicked the bucket, which means he died. Okay, so of course, whether a literal meaning or an idiomatic meaning, it depends on the context. Okay, to make you clear, take the second example, he kicked the mob. Okay, so now you will lose the idiomatic meaning because the structure has been changed. He kicked the mob. It doesn't give any idiomatic meaning. It consists of literal meaning. Whether it is a native speaker or whether it is a non-native speaker, no exception. They both will, they will represent things in a literal way according to this context. Okay. So now, okay, for what if a structural change is made? The first example, he kicked the bucket. What if it is being changed into a passive voice? The bucket was kicked by him. Okay, so the same content, but a structural change is made. Okay, the SVO pattern is changed. So now also it loses the idiomatic meaning. Okay, so what it makes you understand is the sentence to represent an idiomatic meaning consists of a certain structure. Okay. Okay, for example, bucket, kick, he, the. Look at the last example. It is totally ungrammatical, right? Does it give any sense? No, right? This also, it doesn't give any literal meaning also. It doesn't give any idiomatic meaning also. So, a language consists of a structure. Okay, this is what I make you understand. Next, we shall look into the systematic structure of thought. Okay, so to understand this better, first look into these examples. Okay, first example, Christmas is fast approaching. The number of shares we own has gone up. Those two have a very close friendship. These examples relate to the abstract concepts of time, quantity and affection. Okay, so this time, quantity and affection are represented with the conceptual domains, because you cannot represent abstract things with you can't make them understand. So that are they are represented with the conceptual domains like motion, vertical elevation and physical proximity. Motion in the first sentence, Christmas is fast approaching. So fast is the motion here. Okay, so the abstract concept is mentioned with the conceptual domain motion. Okay, then the number of shares. Okay, so this number of shares is represented with the vertical elevation gone up. Okay, this is an abstract concept, so you have to represent it with a vertical elevation. And the next is physical proximity. Okay, those two have a very close friendship. What is the proximity here? The closeness. To represent that closeness, that abstract thing, you are representing a physical proximity here. Okay, so the abstract concepts are understood in terms of conceptual domains. Okay, this is what I want you to understand. Next is the converging evidence. This is so interesting. At the same time, it is so important for your exam point of view. Okay, for example, first take the example, the cat is on the chair. Okay, so this is an example where I want you all to visualize that a cat is sitting on a chair. Okay, so if if you are visualizing and I say the cat is on the chair, what you will understand? So you will say that yeah, you are right, the cat is on the chair. Like this will be your answer. Next, if I say the chair is under the cat, of course I'm grammatically right. And what would happen if this sentence is altered? You will feel something odd. No, you are not right. The cat is on the chair will be perfectly right for you, whereas the chair is under the cat, you will not be able to accept. Okay, so this is what psychology says as figure ground relationship. What is this figure ground relationship about? Okay, so here the visualized thing, the cat. Okay, so that is a living entity, right? So always a living entity is represented as a figure. Okay, whereas chair is a non-living entity. You will not give much importance as you give for cat. Okay, so what they say is a non-living entity will be given a relation to a ground. Okay, so this is the figure ground relationship. Always you just look at the figure first and only then you will look for the ground. Okay, so this is the figure ground relationship, and I just want you all to make it clear that figure ground relationship is the most important, and most of the question papers have this question. Okay, next we shall look into the lexical and grammar subsystems. Okay, so what is this lexical subsystem and grammatical subsystem? Lexical words, they will provide you the rich meaning and they will have a content function, and I will give you an example at the end. Whereas grammatical elements, they just perform the structuring function in a sentence. Okay, of course they both are important, whereas lexical word, they are the hero of the sentence. Okay, for example, the hunter tracked the tigers. Okay, so here the hunt, track, tiger, the whole word, like the whole phrases, they are the lexical words without which their sentence cannot function. Okay, whereas grammatical elements, they make you just a meaningful sentence, a more structured sentence. Okay, so these are the works of lexical and grammatical subsystems. Clear? Now to boost your memory, as always, I will give you one MCQ, where is the parrot is in the cage. Okay, just visualize this thing. The parrot is in the cage. Okay, now tell the figure ground relationship. Guessed it right? Fine. Okay, I told you that a parrot, a living thing, will be related to figure, right? So cage, it is a non-living entity, so which we would relate, it would be the ground. Okay, so this is the figure ground relationship. If you are right, of course you have understood everything.